So, it's another 9 months again of the EFL season. Hi again, it's me. Today we were doing my EFL Gameweek 1 predictions for the 25-26 season. We're starting all over again in the 25-26 season. But it's only League 1 and League 2 because the Championship kicks off next weekend. I don't know why. But yeah, blood title today, and I get ourselves is at least five or six likes today. If you get that, that'd be nice. And make sure you subscribe out there as we're trying to get ourselves up to 200 subs by the end of the summer holidays. If you get that, we're doing 2 things gold. And yeah, if you want to join my fantasy league in my EFL fantasy team league, here's the code and the link right here, and it'll also be in the description. But yep, no messing about. Let's crack into the predictions. Look at this. We're at Kenworth Road for a Friday night. Our host game of the game week. Luton take on AFC Wimbledon in the first game of the 25-26 season in the EFL. And I can't believe it that Luton are in League 1 again. First time since 2019. I just can't believe it. We're seeing Luton in League 1. Well, I remember it was actually a clash, a League 1 game last time Luton was in League 1. So, because AFC both teams were in 2 separate divisions last season. One was from League 2 and one was from the Championship. So it might be a very tough one, but AFC Wimbledon is going to have a different team since the last league game they played. So they won't have no Owen Goodman. No, it's a different team, but they still have Ryan Johnson and Matty Stevens, so they still have them too. But Luton, it's a different team really, but I do think Luton, it's going to be a very tight game, but I'm having a feeling Luton will kick off the season quite strong, getting their first win of the season and the first match day. I'm thinking of a 2-1 win to Luton for this one. Now back down, we're heading to Cardiff for our lunchtime kick-off. Cardiff take on Peterborough now. Cardiff in League 1 seems so bold for some people. It feels weird seeing Cardiff in League 1 because they're normally in the top 2 leagues. But it's the first time in almost 20 years about. But Cardiff take on Peterborough, swinging game to what? No, oh yeah, you ain't seen that because that's in progress because I got a new one of these. Yeah, new one of them. We put it up there, but yeah. Cardiff. They finished 24th last season in the Championship, had a terrible end to the season, or a terrible season, actually. But it's going to be a very tight game to watch. Peterborough, they always recycle best players, to go to, bigger clubs in, the Championship or bigger clubs in League 1, but etc. But having a bigger game to watch, really, it's going to be a very tight one, but I do think it's going to be really tight. I think a 1-0 win to Cardiff for this one. But then landing into the 3 o'clock kickoffs, Huddersfield take on Leyton Orient now. It's a big game to watch, really. Leyton Orient in their first league game without Charlie Cowan for almost a year. So this will be an interesting game, interesting one for Leyton Orient. And Huddersfield, it's been, what a transformer they've been throughout the summer. Signing loads of insane players. Alfie May, Owen Goodman, Mr. Harness himself, and the list just goes on, really. Huddersfield, if they want to start on top of the table and start challenging for the title race, I think they need to start winning. I think they should win this game because they had a horrifying end to the season at the end of last season. But I do think that Huddersfield will probably clatter Leyton Orient. I think a 3-1 win here to Huddersfield for this one. They're starting out strong for me. And then heading to Plymouth, taking Barnsley now. Plymouth finished 23rd last season, but it'll be a very tight game to watch. Barnsley, 12th place last season in League 1, but it's going to be a very tight game. But Barnsley in opening day games always seems quite... it's a 50-50 for Barnsley, but I think Plymouth will keep home park, which is their stadium name. I really think they'll probably try and keep that as a fortress for Plymouth this season, and I think they will. Last time they had an opening game at home park, they are kind of unbeaten. They always are kind of unbeaten in their first home game of the season for Plymouth. But I really think they'll carry on here. I think a 2-1 win to Plymouth for this one. But then to Lincoln taking on Reading now. Left Lincoln Now, Reading, first game with brand new owners. This will be an exciting game to watch, really, for Reading. And for Lincoln, it's going to be a very different game to watch, really. They're already seeing their former player, Paddy O'Connor, for Reading. He's facing off his former club already, so this will be an interesting game to watch. But I do think Lincoln will probably have a slow start this season. I think Reading new owners bounce is happening. I think a 2-0 win to Reading for this one. But then to the League 2 champions from last season at Doncaster. Doncaster taking extra now. Yep, it'll be a good game to watch, really. Last tournament, I don't know when they last tournament, but I remember in Doncaster's opening game last season, they clad Accrington 4-1, and Luke Montague was on fire, and he went higher and higher. No wonders why he is the popular player to choose in the EFL Fantasy for this game week. So I have him in a fantasy team, but it'll be a very tight game to watch, really. But I think that Doncaster might start League One quite strong. I have a feeling a 3-2 win to Doncaster for this one. I think there'll be 5 goals for this one. And then to Bradford taking Wickham now, third place from League 2 last season. What an ending for Bradford for last season in League 2. What an ending. Scoring in the 97th minute, and the entire stadium went wild. Absolutely wild. And Wickham, it's concerning scenes to Wickham and Richard Cohn, because I don't know where Richard Cohn might be going, because this might be his penultimate game at Wickham. But I don't know where Richard Cohn might go for Wickham. He might stay or he might go, but I do think it'll be a very tight game. But I really think I think Bradford might hold on to Wickham. I really think it's going to happen. A 1-1 draw at Bradford. And then to Rotherham taking Port Vale now. Yep, it'll be a good game. It's going to be a good game to watch, really. Port Vale finished second. Came straight back up in the first attempt in League 2. Wow. And for Rotherham, yep, it's going to be a very tight game to watch, really. Both teams are celebrating their mark, and is there one team celebrating their 100th, and the other is celebrating their 150th. Or is it 125th? I think it's 125th, but it'll be a very tight game to watch, really. It might be boring and tight. I think it's going to be a fence 1-1 draw for this one. And then heading down to League 2 now. Barnet take on Fleetwood now. It's Barnet's first EFL game in the league since 2018. It's kind of exciting scenes for Barnet and Barnet fans, despite playing on Tuesday night to Newport. What a game, what an ending it was, scoring 2 goals in 2 minutes. And sending the penalty shootouts in the premium round against Newport, but sadly lost on penalties. But I do think I have Barnet Club in my fantasy team, and I have one of the players in my fantasy team. So I really think that Barnet will probably start strong. I think they'll start their EFL return strong. I have a feeling a 2-0 win to Barnet for this one. They're getting a clean sheet for their opening game. But then to the National League playoff winners, as they're travelling to the stadium of MK Dons take on Oldham now. Yeah, this will be an exciting game to watch, really. This might be the game that I might be watching on Sky Sports Plus in the 3 o'clock. So this might be a good game to watch, really. Last night, I remember one of the games they played each other ended up being a 4-4 draw, 4-4. Could we see a replay of that coming? No, I don't think so, but I do think there might be loads of goals here. I think MK Dons, I think Aaron Collins might get in the score sheets. Murphy might get in the score sheets. And I really think there might be goals. I'm speaking of goals here. I think a 5-3 win to MK Dons, but Oldham will put off a good fight, really. And then to the newly relegated team from Bristol. Bristol Rovers taking on Harrogate now. Yep, it'll be a very tight game to watch, really. Bristol Rovers losing so many of their key players from last season. So it's going to be a very tough. I think Bristol Rovers might have a similar start than they had last time they were in League 2. So they were around the middle for the start of the first half of League 2, and then somehow in the second half it went whoosh through the league and into the third and final day. But could we have a replay at that coming? But gonna be really, really tight. They haven't won since they beat Huddersfield 1-0 last season. But I have a feeling it's gonna be really tight, but I do think Bristol Rovers will start strong, like very tight. Probably by the 90th minute or the 80s. Probably it'll be a late winner, but I think a 1-0 win to Bristol Rovers for this one. But then heading to Shrewsbury taking Bromley now. Shrewsbury finished bottom. Bromley finished 11th last season. Yeah, it'll be a very good game to watch, really. Michael Cheek is still at Bromley. Shrewsbury has signed Stubbs, the defender, so it's going to be a very tight game to watch, really. Last time I don't know when they last time met, but this might be their first game playing against each other. But I do think Bromley will probably get this result. I think the most common prediction in my mind is going to be this. I think a 2-1 win to Bromley for this one. But then to Chesterfield taking Barrow now. Yep, a big game to watch, really. Last time I met, I think Chesterfield won 2-1. Or I think they won 4. I don't know, but I think Chesterfield probably won or drawn. I don't know, but I really think that Chesterfield will probably start. I think they'll have a strong season this season, Chesterfield. Loads of people are saying they're going to be in the top 4. I said they'll be 4th, but I do think it'll be a very good game to watch, really, and a good season for Chesterfield. And Barrow, I think they'll have a good fight, but it'll be a really tight game. I'm gonna go for a 2-2 draw for this one. It'll be a tight one. Then heading to Walsall taking Swindon now. How are we still talking about Walsall still this season in League 2? They should be a League 1 club in January. They should have been League 1. But no, they just crumbled apart. Yeah, they crumbled apart, Walsall. Sorry for the bullying, but we have to be pure honest. Swindon, I really think they are. I have a feeling they are a stronger team than Walsall now after their extraordinary second half last season. And I really think if the season started in the second half, I think Swindon would have been like 4th place. I really think playoffs. If the season started like they had like one half and one half. And yep, it would be a very good game to watch, really. Last time at Walsall, Swindon beat Walsall 1-0. I think a replay is going to be happening incoming. I think a 2-0 win to Swindon for this one. And then heading into Newport taking Ross County now. Newport advances to the Carabao Cup first round on Tuesday after beating Barnet 2-2 on pens. aka 4-2 on pens. Yeah, 4-2 on pens in the premium round. But Ross County have a different manager, and they lost David Goldrick, and they haven't got JD Jones. Now, it's Chatter. I think they lost Chatter due to suspension in the playoffs, so he won't be there. But I think Newport might hold on to Ross County. I think a 1-1 draw is on the cards. And then to Grimsby and Crawley now. Was this the game that Crawley beat Grimsby to secure them playoffs from the last one they were in League 2? Because I think this might have been the game. Or was it? But I remember Crawley back down in League 2. They lost Turfy Murphy to MK Dons. But it'll be a very tight game to watch, really. Last minute, I don't know what happened last season. Last minute. But Crawley really finished the highest in the League 1 relegations. But I think it's going to be a very tight game to watch. It's going to be very tight. But it's going to be really tight. I'm going to go for it. A 1-1 draw. It's going to start really tight for Crawley. But then to Cambridge and Cheltenham now. Cambridge went down 23rd. And Cheltenham, I ain't got a clue what's going on with Cheltenham. But I do think Cheltenham, I think they're going to do worse this season. I heard match of the day. I think that Cheltenham might go down. That's kind of insane, really. But it'll be a very good game to watch, really. But I think that Cambridge will start strong. I think really strong. I have a feeling a 3-1 win to Cambridge at the Abbey Stadium. And then in the final game, Stockport and Bolton now on Sunday lunch kickoff at Edgley Park. Yeah, it's a really good game to watch, really. Last time I met at Edgley Park, it was 5-0 Stockport coming from nowhere. And yep, it would be a good game to watch, really. Stockport got knocked out. Stockport had a very sad ending to the season, losing 4-1 on pens to Leighton Orient. And Bolton missed out on playoffs last season, so it's going to be a very tight game to watch, really, and it's a derby day. But I do think it's going to be really tight. I think that Stockport may actually edge it. I think a 2-1 win to Stockport. But I think that Motherville and probably Nathan Lowe for Stockport might get the two goals for Stockport. But yep, if you're wondering, here's the rest of my predictions and the fantasy team for Game Week 1 of the 2021 season. Here we go. But yep, it's my prediction. You can comment down below on what your prediction is going to be. And yep, thank you for watching this video. I have enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, and share. And you'll see you guys later. Bye.